A Soviet military dog carrying an explosive pack charged towards a German tank. When it was 30 meters away from the tank, it suddenly laid down, avoiding the sight of the German tank. As the tank got closer and closer, the suicide dog quickly adjusted its position, ensuring it wouldn't be crushed by the tank tracks. Finally, it successfully crawled under the tank, accompanied by a huge explosion. The German tank was directly paralyzed. Seeing the military dog completing its mission, the soldiers started cheering excitedly. But the dog trainer was very sad, searching everywhere for traces of the suicide dog. Just when he thought the suicide dog had sacrificed, suddenly, a dog bark came from behind. The suicide dog miraculously survived and ran back. The dog trainer was very excited, constantly petting the suicide dog, but the officer immediately gave an order to tie bombs to the military dog and push the suicide dog out of the trench again. The suicide dog resolutely rushed out, then used the same method to lay down in front of the tank. The tank noticed something was wrong, immediately stopped and stayed still. Seeing this, the suicide dog took the initiative to attack, successfully destroying another tank. Thinking that the suicide dog would surely die this time, unexpectedly it shook its head and ran back to the position from the battlefield. After completing this mission, the suicide dog became a hero in the army, but soon it faced a new mission, to blow up a German train transporting artillery. After 2 days of brief training, the captain brought the suicide dog to the mission location. As soon as the German train stopped, the captain released the suicide dog. The suicide dog quickly passed through the woods. Taking advantage of the Germans' inattention, it quickly crawled under the train, using its teeth to unbutton, placing the explosives on the tracks. But unfortunately, the explosives were discovered by a patrolling German soldier. After removing the explosives, the train quickly departed. Seeing the mission had failed, the captain picked up binoculars and started looking for the suicide dog. But the suicide dog had already returned silently. In order to complete the mission, the Soviet officer immediately took the suicide dog, arrived near a big bridge in advance. This was a necessary path for the German train. There were a large number of German soldiers guarding the bridge. The train would arrive soon. The captain hurriedly tied explosives to the suicide dog. Because the previous failure had already alerted the enemy, the Germans decided to search around the big bridge. The suicide dog took advantage of no one guarding the bridge, quickly rushing onto the big bridge. At this time, the Germans had already discovered the suicide dog, but it was too late. Just as the German train drove onto the big bridge, the suicide dog detonated the bomb. Instantly, a blaze of fire shot into the sky. A mushroom cloud rose into the air, originally thinking that the suicide dog had little chance of survival this time. Unexpectedly, 2 hours later, the suicide dog finally successfully ran back to the camp.